Here's a quick overview of how indirect attacks work in BattleTech Aces. When you have this going on, you got the Indirect Attacks card in play. This is a special order. You'll notice at the top there it has a priority number of 000 and it has a red highlight around it. That means you only use this card during the combat phase. It does not apply during movement at all. So you do all your movement normally, and then when you get into the combat phase, you check for any of the Aces units that do not have line of sight to any of the player units. In this example here, we've got the Bane, which has no line of sight to anything. So this unit is going to be eligible for an indirect attack. So now we follow the card. The instructions on the card will tell you how to select a spotter on the right-hand side. And the first step, that the spotter would have line of sight to the preferred target. So the preferred target is going to be on that unit's combat card. So here I have the missile bow card for the Bane. You're going to follow the priorities as normal. You're going to look out 24 inches. In this case, you're looking for a unit attacked by an ally, but usually for indirect attacks, nothing's been attacked yet, so that doesn't apply. Then we go to the red command list and we'd find the target. Once you have the target, you continue down the list. You're gonna look, if there's more than one unit that has line of sight to the preferred target, you're gonna look for one that is immobile or has used standstill movement to get a bonus. If that's still tied, you're gonna look for the one that deals the least amount of damage. If that's still tied, you're gonna go to one that has the target with no cover. So if one of the Aces units has line of sight to the target and there's no cover for the target, you'd pick that one. Once you figure out the spotter, you're gonna go down to the bottom and it says if the spotter deals less damage than the total IF rating of all indirect units, it will not attack. So in this case, I have the Thunderbolt 2C and I have the Summoner that both deal 5 damage. The Bane does 7 damage with indirect fire. So whichever spotter I choose, it will not attack during this round. That keeps the penalties low for the Bane. After that, you just go in normal combat order. You skip the spotter if they're not attacking, and then when we get back to the Bane, it will use an indirect fire attack against the target that we selected using the spotter we selected. If you need some help with knowing what the calculation is for indirect fire, you can use the quick reference sheet that comes with Aces. It tells you all the steps to go through. Basically, you're going to take the attacker's modifier for the unit that's attacking and the spotter, and you're going to add a penalty for indirect fire in general, and then potentially an extra penalty if the spotter also attacked. Other than that, most of the calculation is like a normal attack.